You're not on the field, court, or ice. You are on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, C. Wall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's Seaworld, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it make them mad, man. See all and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Welcome to Coaching from the Couch, live from the studio. I am your host, C. Wall. Happy New Year. I had all intentions on bringing my New Year's hat. Oh, I said New Year's, and I don't even like it when other people say it. But Happy New Year. And I had a hat, but I left it. So no hat for me today. So as always, what do I always say when we start this show? There is never a dull moment in DC sports. So let me think about this. And before I start, let me just say, of course I have a studio audience. Who's here? Sabrina and Joy are here. So, yes, they are here. And so, let me think about this real hard. So, because there's never a dull moment in DC sports, and we always have a lot of stuff to talk about in 30 minutes. Let's see, what should I pick from? Should I pick from the Redskins scoring no points in their final game of the season? Should I talk about that first? Should I talk about the fact that John Wall is out for the rest of the season? Should I talk about that first? Should I talk about Bryce Harper wants to come back, I guess, to DC? I know, it's hard not to love it here. I get it a little bit, but I don't get it a whole lot. So I don't know if I want to talk about him first. Oh, I'm not talking about any of them first. I'm going to mention the Caps, because out of all this foolywang, one of my words is foolywang. Out of all this foolywang that goes on in sports, as much as I still love my teams despite all the foolywang, let's talk about the 2018 Stanley Cup champions, Washington Capitals. They're doing a tremendous job right now. They're playing well. Trust me on this one. If ever you feeling down about DC sports, go to a Caps game, watch a Caps game. I promise you, they will put you in a better mood. For real, I'm serious. And then when you go, you're amongst all your Caps people. They don't do all that fans from other teams stuff. They ain't not about that life over there at Cap One Arena when the Caps are playing. So, all I want to say about them is that they're doing well. It made me happy to talk about something good. And Alex Ovechkin has declined playing in this year's NHL All-Star game. He was named the captain, and Ovi said, thank y'all so much, but no thank you. He is going to rest up for the second half of the season, and I get it. I'm all the way with it. I'm not mad at Ovi at all for saying, I'm going to sit this one out. Y'all can go ahead and have this one. So, kudos for him for resting up, because, hey, they looking like they want to go another championship go. And that would be awesome if they did that. So, I don't want to talk about Bryce yet. I don't want to talk about him. Maybe we'll get back to him later. I do want to talk about some information that was coming out this week about Kristi Toliver. We know Kristi Toliver is a player with the Washington Mystics. She is also an assistant coach for the Wizards. And what came out was that, and listen, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't necessarily know in detail all of the details about Christy and how much she's getting paid, but she's getting paid like $10,000 to be the assistant coach for a National Basketball Association team and that plays 82 games. $10,000? I mean, I know she's already on Mystic's payroll, but $10,000? That's all you giving Christy? Listen. Run Christy her cash, please. Don't be, please. It's a new year, new me. Listen, give Christy her money, please. That's not right. Christy should be making more money than that. She should be making whatever her male counterparts in that position are making. That is what Christy should be making. Run Christy her cash, please. I'd still talk about something else because I'm dreading going to the other topics. Let's talk about Bryce. I'm going to go ahead and talk about Bryce Harper. So everyone knows now, it's out that Bryce is in talks with the Nationals. There was a lot. We all know Bryce wants $400 million. Flat out, point blank, plain and simple. He wants $400 million. That is a lot of money over 10 years. That is $40 million. That's what Bryce wants, okay? 26 years old, $40 million a year is what he wants, okay? That's the number. That's his number, okay? Cool. Ain't nobody running Bryce his money yet. So I don't know if that's why Bryce is now coming back to the Nationals and saying, hey, you know, let's talk, because they're back in talks. They're back into communications. So let's see what happens. The conversation never truly ended here and with the Nationals about Bryce. Let's just be for real. In most reports, they never counted out the possibility that Bryce could come back. They never said it's a long shot, not gonna happen, no way. It was never that. I recall even when Matt Adams rejoined the team, he even mentioned it in his interview. You know, hey, if Bryce come back, you know, we back. Let's go. Let's do this. So it was never out of the question. I think for those of us that were kind of like, they're not going to pay Bryce that money, we might as well just say forget it, or whatever the case may be. We kind of stopped talking about it, you know, from a fan base perspective. But really, the Nats never gave up hope. Even when we might have given up hope, like, bye Bryce, it's all right. They never gave up hope. So I don't know. Stranger things have happened and transpired. It could totally be that Bryce signed somewhere else. He could sign, I don't know, Cubs, Dodgers. I think the Yankees may be out of the question. I don't know what he's going to do. But if you like Bryce, if you love Bryce and you want Bryce back, guess what? You might get your wish. He might be back. He really might be back. So I think it will be good. I think he, you know, he brings a lot of great energy to the city. He brings a lot of great energy. It's a lot of positive things he does from that perspective. People love Bryce. You know, so I don't know if the Nats gonna pay him $400 million. So somebody's gonna, in my mind, if Bryce comes back, I think the thing of it will be, somebody's going to have to give in. Either they're going to have to pay Bryce what he wants, or Bryce is going to have to not take what he originally asked for and get whatever the Nats are going to give him. So we shall see how it happens and how it goes down, everybody. Hey, I'm neither here nor there on the topic at this point. I feel as though if Bryce really wanted to be here, it would not have taken all of this to be here, because the Nationals have been very forthcoming with him and letting him know that they want him in this city. They want him in a Nationals jersey. So I feel as though, hey, if you wanted to be here, you would have been here, no question. But hey, you never know. It's a little sexier to make people wait, I guess is how you look at it. Might be a little bit more fun for him. Might have a little more pomp and circumstance around. Let's see what happens. So Anywho, thank you everybody that is loving the logo. I am now on the computer. That's big for me because if you remember you were first watching the show, I would never get on the computer. I would be on it, but I'd be like, I can't touch that because that's multitasking. That's a lot for me. So I can't be like looking at my cell phone, on my laptop, trying to look in the camera. Now I got a cup. I'm sitting up here trying to drink my water, and it is just water in here, people. Listen, it is just water. But at the same token, I was like, this is too much. But now, seems like we can make it happen. So thank you to Sherrod, and my mother is watching because she's not here today, and Tara, who all are loving the logo and the water bottle. Thank y'all so much. Now, we gonna flip a coin, or perhaps we go to the conversation on the computer. Who should I talk about first? I don't know. Flip a coin or somebody do something. Redskins or Wizards? Oh gosh. Maybe. See, every time we do this, then we don't know what we gonna say.
Okay, leave them for last.
We gonna leave the Redskins for last. All I'm saying about the Wizards is John Wall is out for the season. And he missed like 41 games last year. And the Wizards did all right without him. Now Markieff Morris is out for 6 weeks. And, hey, Bradley Beal is doing what he can. He's doing the best he can out there. And I will keep this opinion for a very long time. I've had this opinion for a very long time, what I'm about to share with you all. And this is what I think. When your star player is down, I don't think productivity should all be lost. And I'm going to stick to my guns on that one. So for everybody or anybody that's like, we're on the Wizards are better without John Wall train. Listen, when we say better, I just need to be clear on what do we mean by better. Are we talking win the Eastern Conference Finals better? Or are we talking they just played better today, but in 2 more days, it's the same old stuff? So that's all I'm saying. When we say better, just help me to understand. I understand they say, well, it's more ball movement. When John is on the floor, everybody's so fixated on him. I mean, he's still a league leader in assists. So it's not like he's not getting the ball out. But I don't know if it's just because he's such a leader and he's such a force at times when he's out there. I mean, sometimes John be sitting there, he be, standing there. And I, was aware that John was injured. Now, to the extent of his injury, no, I wasn't aware of that. But he was definitely injured. He definitely hurt, I'll say. Because everybody gets hurt. But, injured is another thing when it's like you got to be out. You know what I mean? You just out for a long period of time. And I had no idea he was going to be out for the rest of the season due to the heel issues that he was having. I asked a question on my social media pages today. Are the Wizards done for the season or are they done? I'm going to be honest with you. I think they done. Bradley Beal can only do. You know what? Listen. I want everybody to do well, please. But I also I feel some type of way. Because let me tell y'all something. Jeff Green be balling. That's my guy right there. Uncle Jeff Green, that's my guy right on there. Him. But it's like whenever they win without certain players, it's like, oh, they better without this one. They better without that one. And you only... To me, I don't know. You only hear that when it's the Wizards. I mean, my God, the Celtics were without Gordon Hayward, and they were without Kyrie Irving just about the whole playoffs or whatever last year. I didn't hear nobody talking about the Celtics sure are much better without Gordon Hayward and without Kyrie Irving. No, that kind of conversation doesn't happen because in winning organizations, when your man go down, your other mans in them step up. So that's all I'm saying. If the main guys is going down, then it's time for everybody to crank it up a notch. Everybody, coach, everybody, players. So I just don't get that conversation. And maybe that's why it's not necessarily, well, I don't agree with it. Let me just be clear on that. But at the same token, I don't understand it either. I don't understand that logic, because when the Golden State Warriors still win, when Steph Curry hurt, it ain't like, you know what, they better without Steph. You know what I'm saying? They better. I don't hear nobody saying that. So why do we say it? Why? I don't know. But I do hope that he gets well soon. He had a son. He has a son now. Ace Wall. Lil J-Dub. So, congratulations to him. The surgery is on Tuesday, January the 8th. So, best of luck to him. I hope he's well, and I hope he's good. I think he's good for the city. I think he's good, for the team. Even Keith, sometimes I don't even know what my Keith life about some days. But you know what? My Keith like being here. He's an asset, when he wants to be. And he's out for 6 weeks, and I think you may see some differences with that. But this is an opportunity. Otto, step up. Everybody step up. I can't single out a one player or two players or three players that need to step up, because everybody needs to do their job every time they hit the court. You're supposed to have your teammates back, not necessarily it be a deficit or a hole when somebody's missing, and then it's like, well, such and such ain't here, so that's why. So do what y'all know how to do. Do what you're getting paid to do with all them big money contracts. That's all I'm saying. Oh, now I'm left with the Redskins this week. Okay. All right. Okay. Am I left with that? Are there any questions online? Because for some reason, we gonna get to see. That's the beauty of you all joining live. You get to see when I'm like, what is going on with my computer? But anyway, Redskins talk. If there's any questions, y'all let me know, because I can't pull it up on the computer. What are my immediate thoughts now that the Redskins season is over? Man, oh man, let me just tell y'all. Let me just be very honest with you all. I will never forget this season. Because this was my first season with, media passes for, some of their off the field and on the field events. And I started doing off the field stuff last year, but this year, having been around a bit more, it gave me a different look and feel, right? You have to come out of fan mode, and you have to just state the facts, or you have to develop your opinion based on the facts. And you have to have some things that you may think and feel that you got to keep to yourself for whatever reason. Not whatever reason, but just because that's the right thing to do. And then it's other times where it's just like, even what you may know or what you may be privy to, whatever the case may be, you can't also let that deter you from who you are as a professional. So it was really that learning of, this is fan stuff, but where do you just tell the truth about the business aspect of it, right? So started out very promising, right? You finish strong and you end lousy. That's what happened. And that's not a theme for a few teams across the league. We saw some teams start out lousy, and they got that fire in them, and they in the playoffs. They doing daggone good. And so the idea is that you improve. So some of my thoughts over this past year, and I'm going to share them with you all. The first is, I do have to say something about the Alex Smith injury. So I remember being at that game and saying, oh my gosh, the season is over, right? And that's my emotions talking, like, oh my God, they're done. Then I have to go back to my theory, right? One man don't count you out. This is a team effort. Everybody stepping up. Alex, so sad. I was devastated when Alex got hurt. But I do want to say this. I think my guy Mazdak asked this question in one of the groups, and I saw it, and I did comment on it. Is, what do you think would have happened if Alex never got hurt? I tried not to deal in the what ifs anymore, because I just don't know, and I just can't tell you, and who knows if that would have happened or not. Alex had an impact. His injury certainly had an impact, and I think it probably had more of an impact in the locker room than anything, because his professionalism and just leadership abilities as just a person was missed. I do think that from a field perspective, the offense had struggled. The offense was struggling that day when he got hurt. So I think while the offense didn't get worse when he got hurt, they didn't get better either. So it was kind of like, okay, the offense is just the offense, and we didn't necessarily see an up or down in productivity. I'm talking scoreboard. Now I think we wouldn't have had a donut on Sunday. Praise God. I don't think we would have had that. But at the same token, they did. And it was just some things that needed to be worked out offensively. And so, yeah, I was doing real bad. Chris Burton has a question. Why do you think they are still holding on to Gruden and Allen? Hold that thought. I'll get to that, I think. Let me hurry up, though, because I won't get to it if you're not. But thanks for that question, Chris. I'm gonna address that. I can't say it enough. Adrian Peterson, God bless you in your ministry out there on that football field. We would have been lost without you. It would have been way more donuts without you. Man, listen. I'm telling y'all, new year, new me. I'm about to be off that. I know I told y'all several times I was off my Adrian Peterson workout. That wasn't I was trying to be, but it didn't happen like that. So I'm serious this time because it's 2019. I'm trying to do whatever he do to look that daggone good. I'm serious. That man, he saved us. So I would like to say that I would like to see the Redskins sign AP. I felt like they should have had a contract waiting for him when he was walking off the field on Sunday at FedEx Field. Like, hey, listen, we need you, brother, for real. So thank you to him. Too many penalties all throughout the season. A lot of times I felt like the Redskins defeated themselves because of just all of the penalties. The penalties in my opinion, is a show of being undisciplined. Somebody should have started paying for all those penalties. Something has to happen when you got all these penalties. I don't understand it at all. It just continued throughout the season. Now, some of the guys on the offensive line and things of that nature, when they ain't been on the field and I don't know how long, and they get out there and I understand the changes in quarterbacks and all that, and getting used to people's voices and all of those things. Those are very critical. I understand that. But some of those penalties really, really hurt at times when the team was showing momentum and showing a good stride, and then the penalty hurt them. Just silly stuff. And so I think that's one of the things that just those penalties, that was rough. Defensively, the team just didn't measure up. The defense had a strong start, and I think some of that may have been because of Alex being checked down, Alex, and keeping the ball, staying on the field a little bit longer. Then, the offense had the ball after he wasn't playing, after his injury. But the defense didn't, and it wasn't as many injuries, if at all, to their defense. The offense was the ones that was all banged up. It wasn't the defense. But at the same token, we talked about that, y'all. We all talked about the fact that, hey, listen, the defense is only going to hold up but for so long, because listen, they wasn't going to hold Zeke down the second go round. They wasn't going to hold Saquon Barkley down the second go round. They weren't going to hold these guys down the second go round. So that's where your offense has to step up. So although I had anticipated the defense not being able to hold their own for an extended period of time, unfortunately, that was something that I anticipated. And it happened. And I kind of wish it didn't. I almost wish, that you start out slow and then you finish strong. Like a Chicago Bears type of team, But that's not what happened. And that's my thoughts on defense. Now, the next thing is about the injuries. I've gone back and forth about this topic because I can see this a variety of ways. And this goes back to Chris Burton's question about why do you think they keep Gruden and Allen? Well, I think they keep Bruce Allen because he's critical to the business. At least that's what the word is. He is very involved with getting the new stadium deal done. Obviously, he and Dan Snyder are very close. And on the back end, perhaps some of the things that are done well that he's behind doesn't get as much traction as the things that he doesn't do so well. And this is just me repeating. This is not necessarily my opinion. My opinion is that you got to check your common denominator sometimes when there's a lot of brewing issues and bad business and when things aren't right. And if he's a common denominator, then you got to handle that accordingly. If you want to get better, is what I'm saying. If you want to do the same old, then hey, have at it. But if you want to do better, then you got to check those common denominators over time. In terms of Jay Gruden, I honestly think what is saving Jay Gruden are the injuries. It's a hard sell to fire a man that's got 24 players on his injured list. It's a hard sell. Let's be honest and let's be very real about something, Redskins Nation. The Redskins don't have that great of a reputation across the league. That's just being real with y'all. They don't. They fired Jay Gruden when both your starter and your backup went out, and you got to go to the street to get some people for the quarterback. The quarterback for a lot of people, you got to go out in the street and get some people to be the quarterback. Because a lot of people believe the quarterback is your most important position. So if your most important player goes down, not one, just two, really? Then you got 22 others that went down. That's a hard sell to fire, man. And that would have, and I hear y'all. I hear y'all on some of the things with Jay Gruden. Trust me, I do. But from a business perspective, and in the National Football League, and dealing with the injuries that they had, because you got to be careful what you wish for now, okay? Because had them Bama's been like, I didn't mean to call them Bama's, but I did. If they had been like 9-7, or had they won 10 games with all those injuries, oh please, y'all might have been mad because Jay Gruden would have been up for Coach of the Year. They'd have been like, man, he still won 10 games and everybody over there, half your roster is hurt. It's 53 people on the roster. You got 24 on IR. He gets another year. Now, let me be very clear. He can't use that next year, though. That'll be your third year. Do something with, please, listen, do something about that strength and conditioning staff, please. Because injuries can't be the excuse next year. That can't be us. Let us pray on that. Can't be us next year. But it was us last year, and it was certainly us this year. And you can't fire a man with all those injuries. You could, but it wouldn't be a good look. So, all right. I didn't drink any of my water. I didn't drink any of my water. And I told them I was thirsty. So, we are at the top of the hour. Almost 8 o'clock here. So let's see. And oh yeah, the charges got dropped on Reuben Foster. And that's all I'm going to say about that. At any rate, it is 8 o'clock. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I appreciate y'all so much. I cannot wait to see you next week. Hopefully it'll be peaceful. Probably not, but we can always hope. All right, you all have a blessed night and see you next Thursday.
Sports is what we do. It's the fast track at peak speed, moving across the ice, blockers, hitters, B-team, beatdowns, and knockouts, doubleheaders, playoffs, touchdowns, smackdowns, on the mat or on the track. The spirit of a champion. The triple-double. Make that double front flip. This is what we do.